It's time for a discussion on everybody's favorite topic, taxes and tax returns. Brenda Sells, in case 2-3, is a tax accountant that is preparing a return for Mr. Harry Cohn. He is the president of Purple Industries, a powerful individual, and Vincent Dim is Brenda's boss at the accounting firm. Brenda is called into Vincent's office, and Vincent has just spoken with Harry Cohn, and he's upset. He's upset that gambling winnings have been included in his tax return that Brenda prepared. Brenda's not exactly sure what's the issue. He had a lot of gambling losses. He should be able to deduct those losses on Schedule A and kind of net out to a no net tax effect is what she thought. But Vincent reminds her that that may be true if you are itemizing your deductions, but in Harry Cohn's case, on his return, he is taking the standard deduction. So there's not an opportunity to deduct those gambling losses. Vincent asks Brenda to remove the gambling winnings from Harry's tax return. Brenda knows this is wrong, but Vincent then says, this is a one-time request from our firm. And just remember, our firm values team members that are willing to be flexible in cases like this. Go back to your office and think about what you're going to do, and we'll meet in the morning. Difficult situation that Brenda finds herself in. One of the questions from the case is, should the fact that Vincent brought up this one-time request hinting that Brenda's job could be at stake if she does not go along with what he's asking her to do, should that play into her decision on what she decides to do? And the answer is, it shouldn't, but I think it does, based on the stage, the stage of moral development that Brenda finds herself in. In Chapter 2, we learned about Kohlberg's 6 stages of moral development. And stage 2 is satisfying one's own needs. I believe that Brenda is right there. She's receiving pressure from her boss. She realizes she has real consequences if she does not do what the boss asks. Her job's at stake, and she needs to think about that personally. What if I lose my job? And I think that weighs into her decision. We're going to find out what she decides in a moment. But if I were in Brenda's shoes, another question from the case is, how would we respond to Vincent Dim and his arguments that this is something that the firm needs you to do? And I think I would say that I would be happy to run an analysis, Mr. Dim, on preparing the return versus using the standard deduction and using itemized deductions so that we can then put those gambling losses on Schedule A. But I'm not comfortable omitting the income because I know there was income. I can't forget that, and I can't sign my name to a return knowing that it's false. And I have certain standards to uphold. So that's what I'm offering to do. We'll find out if Brenda responded in a similar fashion. And it's hard for me to say. I haven't been in this position, but that's what I would feel that I would say if I was presented in this case. We learned that she, in her decision-making process, she decided to omit the income, omit the gambling winnings, and satisfy her boss and Mr. Cohn, the client. Next year rolls around, and a similar request is made of Brenda to remove some gambling winnings. A question from the case is, how would we respond now if they asked us to do the same thing if we were Brenda? And if I were Brenda, I'd say, I gave in last year. I know it was wrong. I've had a lot of time to think about it. And I can tell that this is going to be a request that comes year after year. And I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable signing my name to a return that I know is false. We need to include the income. And if you are not comfortable with that, Mr. Cohn and Vincent, I am not the right person to prepare this tax return. I have standards to uphold. I dropped the ball last year, but I've learned from that. I'm not going to do it again, and I want to do things correctly at this firm. If that's not what we're aiming for, then maybe this isn't the right place for me. This case gave us an idea of one person's response and how they reacted, and gave me a chance to put myself in her shoes. And these dilemmas are difficult to face, but as we learn these correct ethical principles, we can be prepared to face them in the right way. Thank you for your time.